We've all experienced this before. We're on our phones when the notification comes up, 20% battery life remaining, then 10%, and then zap, the phone has died. It's a common annoyance that shouldn't have to happen, but it does. That's because advancements in wireless power delivery, like pad charging, have failed to keep up with advancements in IoT technology that demonstrate an unbounded demand for numerous disconnected devices that can be powered or recharged wirelessly. That is why WiGL was created.
Most small Internet of Things devices have to have a battery, and those batteries need to be recharged somehow. And typically, that's going to not be a convenience. If you can provide wireless power in a large area for small Internet of Things devices, you cut away the reliance of the battery, and you allow those things to exist in a network continuously without having to re-plug them in, change the battery, worry about if they're getting power. This is going to tremendously make the Internet of Things be accepted quicker and develop faster by taking the power equation out of it.
In the United States alone, there were over 31 billion Internet of Things devices in 2020. The majority operate by batteries, which have long charge times, high costs, harsh environmental impacts, and risks of accidents.
Powering things wirelessly, by definition, as Nikola Tesla discovered 140 years ago, is not as efficient as plugging in a cord. That's why wireless power receiver and transmitter companies haven't made a huge impact in the market yet. But by wirelessly networking transmitters and receivers, we can get back that convenience and the mobility of Internet of Things.
Despite the current state of affairs, there's hope on the horizon, and it's happening without the annoying cords that are necessary to charge our current devices. It's happening in research labs around the world, where WiGL has partnered with the smartest minds to revolutionizing the way we power and charge our electronic devices. Founded by a retired disabled vet, this state-of-the-art technology uses over-the-air wireless technology to change how we see and use electrical power.
WiGL now is based solely on the mesh networking of transmitters and receivers. The best way to think of that is imagine Wi-Fi that wasn't a mesh network. Imagine your data hubs were just little islands of data, and every time you moved, you would have to join a different network to get your data. That wouldn't be very convenient. And mesh networking all the transmitters together so that we can move freely about our house, office, and an airport, that kind of thing, is the convenience of data that makes us not even think about it and makes Wi-Fi a globally recognized name. Imagine WiGL the same way as applied to wireless far-field power. Now the technology is islands of wireless power that a lot of companies are making. WiGL is the networking of those islands so that you can move freely about and have wireless power just like you have wireless data.
At WiGL, our concept is simple. Similar to how we can access internet through Wi-Fi, our phones, tablets, laptops, iPads, key fobs, earbuds, and headphones will be powered wirelessly through WiGL, which stands for Wireless Electric Grid Local Air Networks. All you'll have to do is log on to an over-the-air WiGL network to power and recharge your devices. Sound far-fetched? It's not.
We've had awesome success so far in WiGL technology. First, we demonstrated that the act of shooting wireless power a distance away is really not that hard. It was discovered 140 years ago by Nikola Tesla, and there's many companies all over the world that are doing that. What we did next is we worked with companies that already make transmitters and receivers, as well as a defense company to make our first wireless mesh network. In addition, our CTO, Sharif Shabain, working with Florida International University, documented in great detail the actions and how a mesh network for wireless power should work, and that was picked up and published by Nature magazine, which is tremendous credibility in the engineering world, and it lends credence to the WiGL methodology of making mesh networks for power, just like we have them for data now.
With the industry for Internet of Things devices expected to grow at a rapid pace over the next decade, the need for wireless-powered technology is greater than ever before.
The way WiGL is going to drastically improve our lives is you're going to be able to cut the cord. And we're going to actually, you're not going to have cords for your cell phone. You're not going to have batteries in your smoke detector. You're not going to have batteries in your garage door opener. It's going to be able to basically charge all of these items. Eventually, you're not going to have batteries in devices like medical devices. It's going to be able to do a lot of different devices for the hospitals. So it's going to, as well as it's the environment. We're really going to be able to help the environment. We're not going to have dependence on foreign countries for heavy metal usages because it's not going to have to use lithium batteries.
Power is always a unique challenge. Today's lithium-ion cells and lithium polymer battery packs, while they are high in energy capability and they offer rich power density, charging is always an interruption to the cycle of being able to get useful work done. And so what WiGL really offers is the capability of freedom. And when WiGL offered us this opportunity to work on wireless power transmission as a way to stop some of those interruption cycles from happening and allow us to continue to do work with our smart devices, whether they're small consumable electronics, larger laptops and things that all require plugs to the wall or power banks of some sort. It's an enriching experience that actually adds to what Gwin Partners seeks to offer.
In an ever-connected world that relies on clean, secure, and efficient technology, WiGL is providing the modern-day answer to how our devices receive their power. In the process, it will improve employee productivity and enhance the efficiency of companies.
WiGL will have a tremendous impact on businesses and the economy by being able to monetize wireless power like we already do wireless data. Businesses will be able to charge for the convenience of wireless power everywhere, in a building, in an office, in an airport, in the subway, like they do wireless data, and/or provide that as an added bonus or convenience to their customers, just like they do wireless power.
Today, when you go to a restaurant, library, coffee shop, store, or a friend's house, one of the first questions people ask is, do you have Wi-Fi? And what's the password? WiGL imagines the day in the near future when people across the world will ask, how do I log on to your WiGL network?